I want you to picture this. Customer gets home from work. They sit on their couch after a long day. They are on their phone. They're scrolling through. They come across an ad or get a notification that says you could save $480 a year on your auto insurance. So they're intrigued. They click it. They're like, I want to save some money on my auto insurance. They click it, answer a few questions, and before they know it, they have switched their insurance policies to a new carrier. Without a conversation with someone, without a phone call, and without ever speaking to an agent. That's not the future. That's already happening. So if that's the game, where does that leave the agent? Where does that leave the agency? It's becoming easier and easier for people to get their auto and home insurance online. And 70 to 80% of insurance shoppers will start their buying journey online without ever speaking to an agency or getting on a phone call. And insurance is very much, auto and home insurance is very much a commodity. There are so many different places that they can get insurance. The trouble with this is that they're going to be getting it online. They're not going to have an insurance agent. And so, and the frustrating thing here too is like people will switch for saving very little money, a couple $100 a year, $100 or $300 a year. If they can save that on their auto insurance, they're not going to be loyal to you if they can go save some more money elsewhere, right? They will switch. It's easy for them to do. Now, insurance is funny because, if we think about before cell phones and smartphones were really a thing, before the internet, before AI, the old model was we need to build relationships. We need to get people into our offices so we can earn trust, really become their insurance agent with a connection, with relationship to be able to keep our clients. Now, the new model has significantly changed. A lot of agencies are trying to keep up with how things are changing, which I think is good, but now it's all about quoting fast. It's all about competing on price, and it's really just hoping that people stay. But at the end of the day, it's a completely different game. And with the advancements of AI and technology, it's only going to get more and more difficult because AI will win the speed game and the convenience game every time. AI is better at that game than we are. And it will always be better at that game than we are. And so the question is, what do we do with our P&C agencies? How can we future-proof our P&C agencies from becoming so commoditized that we don't write as many customers that we're writing right now, or that we lose the customers that we worked really hard, we spent a lot of money to get, we lose them to them shopping online because, it's just much easier for them to do. The question is how do we actually how do we write more households with this environment, and how do we retain more households? Look, when I first started as a P&C producer, for me, P&C it felt like a commodity then. In 2018, it felt like a commodity then. It felt like if I wasn't able to save someone money, I probably wasn't going to write their business. Now, I think there's something to say about selling on value, not just price. But if you think about it, most people don't even know about their coverages. And so in their mind, if we think about where they're at, they're thinking like, oh, I'm good. I can switch, most companies can offer the same type of liability limits. They can offer them, umbrella policy for the most part. And so it's like, if the coverages are the same, in the customer's mind, the company doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant. They're going to go where they save the most money. And so because it's such a commodity, I felt like it was fairly easy to sell, but it was just a quoting game, right? It was a quoting game. But the challenge was, how do we keep these customers that we're writing? How do we keep these households longer? When I first started, I was introduced to life insurance, and it always made sense to me that life insurance, if I could write life insurance with a new household, I was going to make more money, right? And at the time, I was like, I want to make more money. And if I can make more money with the same amount of work, with the same amount of calls, same amount of leads, I want to do that all day long. But what I didn't realize at the time is that life insurance did more than just made me more money. It strengthened relationships. It created connection with customers. And it created this loyalty and trust that the auto and home insurance alone didn't do for me. And so I found that when I was writing life insurance with all of the P&C households that I was writing every month, trying to cross-sell life insurance to our current customers, it strengthened our business. it caused customers to stick around longer. I mean, they're going to stick around with you longer if they have a life insurance policy with their auto and home rather than just the auto and home alone. And I know that you know that. But, at the end of the day, you got to think about it this way. Like, AI will replace insurance agencies. There's no question, right? Just to see how much it has advanced, just to see how easy it is for people to get auto and home insurance without phone calls, without conversations, without talking to real people. AI, it's bound to replace P&C agencies. However, imagine if you and your agency put emphasis on writing life insurance alongside the home and auto. All the new households that you're bringing in, if you could write a life insurance policy with those new households, do you think that relationship would be kind of depth and that there's a real connection there? There's real emotion and there's real trust compared to if it was just auto and home? Do you think that would, allow you to retain more of the households that you write for longer? Life insurance will make your book stickier, but it's more than that. It takes things from a transactional relationship to a relational relationship. And I personally believe that, yes, AI can be scary. Yes, AI, there's a lot of things that can, be automated and a lot of jobs that are going to be taken from AI. But there's one thing that AI cannot do. AI cannot build relationships. AI cannot have a human connection. And I believe that people, the more and more that AI starts to take over our lives, the more and more people will crave human connection and real relationships. And if you think about auto and home, it's not that easy to have those types of relationships and connections and depth with just auto and home policies because of the nature of them, right? They're so commoditized. Life insurance, though, it requires a completely different conversation. We gotta have a relationship with people. We've gotta go from transactional to relational. And asking people, hey, if something terrible happened to you and you didn't make it home tonight, like, what happens to the family? That type of a conversation it brings in a lot of emotion. And when we can help have those conversations, our relationships will deepen with these people, which will cause them to think, okay, they're not just my insurance agent, but they're not my insurance agency. I've got everything with them. But that life insurance conversation takes it from transactional and turns it into relational. Okay, and let's just do some simple math, because some of y'all are like, man, it's just so much work to figure out how to get my team to learn life insurance product, to learn the application, deal with the babysitting with underwriting. But like sometimes we're not looking at like the real benefit of this thing. Let's do some simple math. So let's say that you write an auto and home for a household. And let's just say that you make $700 to maybe $900 in profit. If you add one life policy, just one life policy, that could double the value of that household instantly. Same customer, same conversation, but now we've created depth. And your agency gets to bring in all that upfront commission from that life insurance policy. Now, when you think about what could my agency use that for? Well, you could buy more leads with it, pour gas on the fire that's already built. You could pay your people better. And I'm telling you, winners will stick around longer if they're making good money. And guess what? You can attract winners, people that are good at sales and have that attitude and that mindset and that drive to go out and make a lot of money. Those people will be attracted to your opportunity because you can pay them more. Life insurance will not just retain your households longer, but I believe that life insurance is a lifeline for P&C agencies. It is a tool that will allow you to scale your P&C agency and really future-proof it from what's happening with AI. Because at the end of the day, AI replaces speed. AI can do it significantly faster than you and your team. AI replaces convenience. If I don't have to take time out of my day, come into your office to get my insurance set up, or even get on the phone with you, if I can do it in a more convenient way, I'm going to do it. And guess what? AI is better at that game than we are. AI replaces the transactions, okay? But it does not replace the depth. It does not replace trust. It does not and won't ever replace human connection. And that's why the future doesn't belong to the agencies that can do things the fastest and can save people the most money, but it belongs to the agencies that can have the deepest connections and relationships with their people. Think about your agency like a wagon. Okay, we've got the wagon, we've got kind of the main cart of the wagon. Let's just say that that's your homeowner's insurance policies that you're writing. And then we've got the wheels, and the wheels are going to be the auto insurance. Life insurance is going to be the linchpin that keeps the wheels on the axle. The moment that that linchpin is out, I mean, these wheels could fall off and the whole thing could completely crash. You could lose households much easier by just writing auto and home and continuing to do the same game that you've been playing, even though technology is advancing, even though we probably need to adapt if we want to keep winning. Without life insurance, there's no reason really they should stay with you. But when there's life insurance, when that linchpin is in that wheel, it's on the axle, it's holding those wheels on there, I mean, there's no reason to shop, okay? And it creates that depth that we're looking for. So yeah, AI is coming, it's here, and that's not the question. The question is are you building an agency that competes with AI, or one that AI can't touch? Or are you going to do the same thing that you've always done, just hoping that your customers will stick around with you, just hoping that what you've been doing in the past and it's gotten you where you've been will get you to where you want to go? AI is coming for your agency. The agencies that will future-proof their business from AI are the ones that make life insurance a priority in their agency. Now look, it's much easier than you think, and there's so much organic opportunity happening in your P&C agency every single day to write life insurance. Every auto customer, every homeowner's customer, every new household quote, every added driver, every added vehicle, those are all phenomenal opportunities to layer life insurance into the conversations that you and your team are already having, and a way to strengthen your business, strengthen relationships, and future-proof your insurance agency from AI replacing you. Good news is it's easier than you think. And if you would like help with conversations, helping your team learn how to sell life insurance in the P&C world, just click that link below and let's connect. Appreciate you guys, and we will catch you in the next one.